in order for you to justify and be okay with what Israel is doing, and I don't mean like the today stuff, I mean the stuff from like 1948 up until October 7th, which was very much a reaction to the previous period of time. And that is that idea of the right to return, with the putting into practice being over a people that have been there for decades, if not centuries. They're inserting themselves and taking by force, which is, by the way, called theft, based off this idea that because they were there a long time ago, they should just get to have it back. Many of these people do not actually have ethnic lineage to the area. They just don't. It's okay. It's a fact. So here's the thing. That is a slippery slope if you are to accept that argument. Because you have to, if you're going to live in a fair and just world where rules and law apply equally to everybody, understand that to be okay with that puts you at risk of another group coming back to take the land that you're on, to take the home that you're in. In 2,000 years, a lot of shit changes. Borders change, groups of people change, religions change. It's usually all because of like war or some horrible fucking thing that happens. But it is what it is. So if we are cool with, resetting 2,000 years ago, now, especially if you're an American that is like, yeah, no, that is a logical choice. Yeah, let's make that happen. None of us get to be here. None of us get to be here. None of us get to be here. All of our homes are being taken. Every last one of them. And we're all going somewhere else. I'm going to the UK. That's where the majority of my, DNA, ethnic, genetics, whatever, come from. That's where I'm going. And I'm sure some Native American, apologies, I probably should have looked up what tribe lived in the Houston area however long ago. They're going to come and knock on my door, forcibly remove me, and try to get me to go somewhere else. But that's okay, because they were here before I was. Per the law that everybody seems to be okay with enforcing for one group of people, but that's not fair. Everyone should get to employ these tactics if we're letting, one area or group of people do it, right? America would not look like how it looks today. We would all be going home. And let's say we decided that that's actually what we were going to do. Okay, because here's the thing. You got to take God out of it. We cannot draw borders or international law based off the religious components of anybody's religion, anybody's religious book. So we're just looking at, okay, who has DNA that is of highest percentage to the indigenous people or the people that were in an area 2,000 years ago, right? I mean, that seems like a fair way to apply the rule, right? Because we can't do God. We can't do God. Not everybody accepts that God, and we're talking an international situation, right? So here's the thing. Most of those in Israel, they're not going to get to stay either. Many of them are going to go back to Europe also. And then we got to DNA test all these Palestinians, right? Where are they going to go? They're actually going to get to stay, the majority of them. That's the crazy part, right? So if we are actually going to employ their logic, take God out of it. We can't do the God argument. We're just going to do I'm genetically tied to this land argument 2,000 years ago. I mean, you look at it, Israelis on the whole, and I'm sure there are some that do have DNA ethnic ties to the, I'm sure there are. I'm not negating that. But on the whole, those in Israel do not really look like those in Lebanon or those in Palestine or those in Egypt or Syria. They don't look the same. They don't. They look like Europeans. And genetically speaking, because obviously the DNA is not going to be an exact match to something 2,000 years ago because of all of the pillaging and the wars and the, choice, intermarriage, interconnecting, interbreeding, whatever. You're not going to get an exact DNA match. But the Canaanites trickling down, you're looking at those from Lebanon and those from Palestine that are the closest to those that lived there 2,000 years ago. So even if we're employing their logic, many of them don't get to stay. I'll see you guys in the next one.